It's not like, like this is just to encapsulate the congratulations and the feelings and all that. Like I use this all the time to like call myself out of my bullshit. So like it's really hard to go 0 to 10K, but next 20K is easier, 30K is easier because of this. So I'm just you're gonna talk and I'm gonna take notes just like with all the other stuff. And this is really just to document like how fucking awesome it is to hit $10,000, right? Like,
yeah.
What I think you and I were talking like January, like Jeff, I almost did it. And then February you did it, but in December you didn't, or like, what was that thoughts and feelings and all that?
Yeah. So December, I was so close. I was literally like $50 away, which if I would have realized at the time, I would have literally like sold like anything just to get the $50 to go show up. And then I think I realized that I didn't even realize it at the time. I realized it, in like January, February when I messaged you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was only $50 away. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And so then like, that was my goal to make sure that I hit it this month. And I did, but I really wasn't expecting, because like my aspirations are not to hit 10K. My aspirations are to hit 50K. Like that is my goal. That has always been my goal. So like, I'm super, super stoked about 10K, but like in my head, I'm like way over here, like trying to reach this even bigger goal the whole time.
On soon. So what I discovered is that like the 0 to 10K is about like changing the way your brain works. Like now you know that you can charge for your stuff, because I think you had like a free trial on an insurance guy or something like that, right?
It wasn't free, but it was a lot reduced price. You're totally right about that. And it has been my goal ever since that guy, because that's the only type of Facebook ad I have not been able to crack. Yeah. I'm still like on a hunt to figure it out. Like he's not even my client anymore. I'm just like, I want to figure this out. So I actually joined like an Instagram or a Facebook ads for insurance agents, just for insurance agents. And I was like, hey, I'm not an insurance agent. I just want to figure this out. And they let me.
Why isn't it working?
I know.
It's insurance, right? So Austin Croman, he does insurance, and Bobby Stocks has an insurance program.
Okay. Yeah, I've talked with Austin before about possibly white labeling, but I don't think we ever got very far with that. So
okay. Well, he took Bobby Stocks course.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So that type of stuff. But all right. So what we're gonna do is when did you join the Inner Circle? Do you remember?
Ooh, I feel like it was August. I think we were the first people in, right? I think I was.
I know you had to post August 30th. Maybe, yeah, you were like in the early batch.
Yes.
Sarah Rose Stunner, July.
Okay.
All right, so this is notes. So you joined July 28, 2018. And that's what the Facebook says, like added by Jeff July 28, 2018, which is pretty darn effing cool, right? Where were you when it was July of 2018?
As far as where I was with my business, or where?
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, I feel like I chatted with you when I joined, and I can't remember what my income was.
I know
I think it was like maybe 5,000.
Gotcha. Was that
or so?
Maybe 5,000. Gotcha. And where were you in August of 2018?
Oh gosh, let me pull up my actual numbers, because I am the worst. Like I actually have a master's in accounting, and I am like literally the worst with numbers. I'm like, I don't know. So
I have sheets.
What's that?
That's why I have Excel. It knows the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And Excel is like literally terrible when you get to like the masters of accounting level, because there's so many formulas that it like freaks out on you. Yeah. Let me pull this up really quick just so I can show. Let's see.
Let's take a look. I got to put everything on mute. Let's see. Oh, Benjiro says, I told Sarah about Jeff at one point.
Benjiro. Oh, yeah. Ben and I met a while ago, actually.
Yeah. Well, you and Ben both broke the 10K club, which is pretty darn awesome.
Yes. Okay, so it looks like July I was about 4,500. Okay. August I went up a little bit, about 5,100.
Gotcha.
October I was at 9,300.
Yeah, I remember that number.
And then December I was like a 9,950. Nice. So I was like real close.
Yeah. And something happened. Wasn't it something like January everything tanked or something like that, right?
No.
No? What happened in January?
We'll see. All my numbers come in at different times because my clients, like a lot of them pay towards the end of the month. So sometimes my numbers are like really high because it's like they're all coming in at weird times.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
No, what I mean is like for January, like how much money did you make in January?
Let me check. Yeah, I did. You're right. I feel like I didn't talk to you about this, but I did lose a couple of like smaller clients.
I know your secrets. All right, go on.
Yeah, so I did lose a couple smaller clients. So I lost about $1,000 a month from them.
Gotcha.
But then I gained another bigger client in February, and so that's really been helpful. Yeah.
So you've been in the course, so let's just say 7-8 months or so, right? And had your ups and downs and all that stuff, and finally broke out 10K. So who are the clients that helped you break through 10K?
Yeah, so I kind of turned into what you recommend. So I started out being very much Facebook ads based, a couple of social media like content creation here and there. But I kept running into the problem of people being like, I don't like the leads are bad, kind of like whining about stuff because they think the leads are the problem, but the real problem is that they don't have a business structure in place, which is why they don't have marketing, why they don't have sales processes, why they don't have any business processes or automations to help them on the back end. So the leads are like the canary in the, what is it called? The canary in the coal mine. Yes. So they think it's the leads. But in reality, that's just screaming to them that they don't have proper marketing in place, that they don't have any systems, they don't have sales, they don't have any processes. And so as a result, they don't have any leads. Gotcha. So I pretty much stopped taking on like any clients that were in that situation unless I really felt like I could help them and they had the right mindset to understand that and to be like, yes, we recognize that. Let's work on fixing all these other things. Like, I don't want to take on a client that is like, hey, I only want Facebook ads unless I know they have all those processes in place to support them. Gotcha. So I basically turned into what you really recommend, which is becoming an outsourced CMO. So I have two of my biggest clients. It's exactly what I do for them. So any and all marketing, anything related, I help them do. And so it kind of is an organic process. I started doing some smaller things, and then they were like, hey, can we look at doing this? And it kept growing from there, which is exactly what you recommend. So I started really kind of honing in on that outsourced CMO, which is what I like to do the best. I like the strategy and really looking at the big picture stuff rather than just like focusing on one thing. One of the problems I ran into, though, pretty quickly was that I was like, becoming an outsourced CMO is, as I'm sure you're aware, very time consuming, and it's very customized, because each client wants something a little bit different. And both of my two biggest clients are not in the same industry. So there's really nothing that I can duplicate. And so I pretty much ran into an issue where I was stuck. I literally could not take on any more work, because of all the work I was doing for them. And I obviously wanted to grow. So I ran into that problem and realized that I needed to start outsourcing a lot of things. So that has really, there's been a couple of things that have really, really tipped the scales for me. That was definitely one of them. But I think that it's important for like the younger people or the beginner people to like hear more of the inner shifts that happened for me to get there, if that's okay.
Perfect. So let's actually like write those suckers down. That's what I'm doing right now. So the first is you started off with Facebook ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next transformation was really doing CMOO type work, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next transformation was saying you can send the work out, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So those are like the big three things. And what I find really interesting is that when people start pitching the Wallet Out campaign, the biggest reason why they have trouble with it is because they're stuck here. They only want to do Facebook ads. They only want to be good at Facebook ads. They want to be on the leaderboard and the cheapest cost per lead and all that. And it's the biggest problem right here to get people to say, I'm going to pitch the Wallet Out campaign. But when you do it, you start off here, right? And then what you happen is like with the master classes and the soap opera sequences, you start sending the work out over the course of time. So you started off here with Facebook ads. You had $5,000 a month. Started being a CMO, but you capped out at like $9,000 and you couldn't take on any more clients, right?
Yep.
And then you started to send the workout and you broke 10K.
Mm-hmm.
How effing cool. So what were the clients that you got that broke you through the 10K?
So I've started a kind of, I get people coming to me for a lot of different reasons. And some of them really are local businesses. They are wanting to get that work outsourced, like a done for you product, the CMO work that I'm doing a lot. But then I get a lot of people that are ambitious. They have worked through a few of the hurdles that they need to work through to start growing and to understand what it is to be an entrepreneur, but they haven't quite connected. Maybe they're a little bit older and they aren't quite sure of how to market on social media, how to market in this new landscape. So I get a lot of requests for people like that. So I actually started a very soft pitch for like a very soft open for doing coaching. So I do kind of like a one-on-one mentorship. And so I just started doing that. I have one client that I'm helping her basically kind of packaging everything that I figured out and to help her understand and come to those same conclusions and work through those limiting beliefs and all of that kind of stuff.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. And I really, really enjoy doing that. And then I think like longer term, my main focus right now is actually clearing as much stuff off my plate so that I can publish more. So I realized that my own social media has kind of like not been as prolific as I want it to be. It's not the level that I need it to be. So my goal is to get things off my plate so that I can really focus on those revenue generating activities, which for me is actually
generating activities. Awesome.
Yeah. So for me, that is publishing, being on social media more, making better relationships, building up my network and stuff like that. So that's what I'm really focused on right now because I see that as like what I need to do to get to the next level.
Gotcha. Very, very cool. How did you meet your current clients?
All of them have been referrals. So when I started, this was before your course, but you're 100% correct that the best way to get started is to go out to networking meetings and meet people. It's 100% what I attribute. Like I did that for a solid year before I started seeing results from that. I might get a few like little onesie twosie, like one-off projects here and there from going at first, but it really took a year for me to build up relationships. Now, like I walk into a room and like people know who I am. It's a small area. Like I don't want to like blow myself up or anything, but like, you know, people they're like, oh, I've heard of you. And I'm like, yes, it's working. So you know, that's really my goal is to not to go to those things to pitch, but just to go to make connections and relationships and see if I can be of value to them. Like it's crazy. People just come up and like, they're like, hey, I get confused on Instagram on how to do this. I'm like, I can help them really quick. So like just anything like that. That's a joy to me. I kind of started doing this thing, which is like a twist off of your accountability calendar. So I do it a little bit different. I do health, wealth, and relationships. So every day I do one thing from each category. And so it doesn't have to be like anything super, super crazy. Like for health, it could be as simple as like drinking lemon water, or it could be like working out or taking a walk, something like that. Wealth is like, you know, making an offer, getting on a sales call, doing something that is a revenue generating activity. And then relationships are reaching out to people that either you already know and just to keep up with them, calling your mom, like anything like that. Because I really, really got into this pace when I started. And it took me a long time to really get some solid like clients. And all I was focused on is money, 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 money. How can I make money? I need to make money. I need the sales call to work. And I understand that like space, but at the same time, I was totally neglecting everything else. I was totally neglecting my health. I was up at all hours of the night. I was not working out. I was not taking care of myself. And then my relationships, yes, I still cared about people, but I didn't have time to reach out to them or say hi or go to dinner or anything like that. It was just like, no, I've got to focus on this. And when I flipped it around and I was like, no, my health is a priority. If something happens to me, like, what's the point, you know? And so I flipped it and I started focusing only on my health, then my relationships, and then ironically, the wealth started coming to me. So I really solidly believe like if somebody is out there and they are in that spot where they're like, no, but you don't understand, I need to make money. Like it just doesn't work that way. You've got to take care of yourself first and then honor yourself and then, you know, honor your relationships and build those relationships and the wealth just comes to you.
Perfect. Very cool. Can we get more specific on the referral process? So did you just do like really good work for 3 people and then they sent you 2 more people each? Or how did you realize that the best way you grow is by asking for referrals? Can you talk about that for a bit?
Yeah. So let's see. I think you're right. Like a couple of my clients have made more clients. So like I worked with one lady and she referred me to another, you know, great client. And so like, that's how they're basically duplicating, is like my work for them. And then they recommend me to somebody else. And then I take a meeting with them and they like me. So we start working together. I do have a referral program, but no one has ever taken me up on it. So I do, like, I tell people in my networking group, I tell people, you know, that I maybe meet with for like a one-off type of thing, but that aren't really a good fit for me right now. But I like, hey, if you know anyone, you know, I'll give you $500 just for sending them my way if they become a client. So I tell people that all the time, but I've never had anyone take me up on it. So
weird, like that happens to me. time too. Like there's only one person I paid 20%, but everyone else says, "Hey, don't worry about it. I'm super happy for him." Like, okay, right? Like,
Yeah.
they either don't want it or don't bring it up. But if I didn't bring it up, it wouldn't happen. So I bring it up, right? And then they just send business my way. I've got 2 chiropractors coming in next week because the chiro that I had come into my office, I was like, let's just do a live right now. Like, this was great, Jeff. This is so cool. I know somebody wants to do this too. I was like, I'm going to charge him and give you a referral fee. He goes, yeah, don't worry about him. Send it to you anyway. I said, okay. Right.
Yeah.
All the time. So you got your first client or your first chunk of clients, right? Your first tier. They referred you people. Is that like what got you to 10K? Or was there anything else? And the reason I'm bringing it up is because like flashback to Sarah, you know what I mean? All the way over here, you doubled in like 7 months, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to like send a message to the past because there are other people that are going to watch this who are stuck here trying to figure out what to do next. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do right here.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a combination of things. I couldn't just say that it's just referrals. I also think that it's being more visible by going to networking meetings, having a good deal of like solid business people knowing who you are, and knowing your reputation, because they all talk. Like, I think a lot of, like, when I started, I didn't realize that, like, yeah, they're business people, but like all of my clients have like excellent referral people that are great, would be a great partner for me.
Fucking high school gossip with these people, okay? They just Kathy with everybody, yeah.
They really are, and not in a bad way, but like it is something that you want to be cognizant of, because if you do something wrong, your name will get tarnished really, really fast. So I've always been super cautious to not only provide an amazing service, but if anything goes wrong, like I'm always going over and above to make sure that they're happy. If there's anything I can do to make it better. Not that happens that often, but like that insurance client that we were talking about, I just went ahead and refunded him his money because I was like, I don't want to take your money. Like, this isn't working right now, and it's not fair for me to take your money and not produce any results for you. So, things like that, that goes a long way. We're still friends, me and that guy. So it's like no bad blood there. And that's really important, because your reputation and your integrity mean a lot. And that's another thing. Like, I think that new people, or people that might be beginning, take some things that they do and don't think that they're as beneficial as they are. So the longer that I've been in business, the more and more I'm amazed at how other people run their businesses. They don't call people back. They are so flaky. They don't show up to meetings, and then they don't say anything. Like, if you're literally just reliable, if you're dependable, if you produce good work, that's literally all these clients are looking for, because unbelievably trying to find that is really hard. I don't understand, like, these are just common things, but it is just like, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, it's just amazing at how haphazard most people conduct their business.
So I still listen to my car wash's phone calls. They still pick up only half of them. I'm like, hold on a second. You guys are running a business that does like 50 grand a month. You only pick up half your phone calls. What if you picked up all your phone calls? Like, wouldn't that blow your mind, right? And there have been people that have called and said, this is the third time I've called, I'm never going back. So the car wash down the street that does pick up their calls, they're now making more money because that other car wash is saying, I'm simply not going to be bad at my job. I'm simply going to pick up the phone, right? I'm simply going to do a little bit better. Not great, but just a little bit better than everybody else. And magically, I think this is because of the internet, like anyone can do this type of shit. Like, if you just aren't bad, you're going to be better than like 99% of everybody else out there. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And like the feeling that you don't know what you're doing, you never get over that. It's never better. Like, you always are like, what should I do next? But I think when you sit too long and you overanalyze on what move you should make, just make a move and then adjust as necessary. So that was one of the things that I was like having trouble with, not really when I joined your group, but like at the very beginning. So I'm just kind of trying my best to make this as valuable for people that are new to figure out how to kind of bypass a lot of these like hiccups that can hold them back for longer than they need to.
Gotcha. Very cool. So you met all of your clients in person,
Yes.
had conversations. And for people watching this, like, I'm more than happy to say you should also take this other course. I'm not like that guy that's like, mine is best. It's not. Like, it's just not the worst. You know what I mean? So, like, were there any other courses that you took that helped you get to $10,000 that you would recommend somebody else do or take or things like that?
Honestly, for a course, your course is the very best. I think it's the way that you phrase things. You just make it super simple and super clear. Like I loved watching your pitch videos, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I should start doing that. And so I started adding more of that kind of like verbiage in, and kind of just the way that you're real straightforward and not so like, I don't know, wordy. And so I really, really like that. And just like how you made it seem so accessible, like even for things that industries that I had not worked in, I felt like I could still have a good grasp of how to handle them, even though I hadn't worked in them before, which gave me confidence, not necessarily to approach them, but just gave me confidence in general. So I think that that was super, super beneficial. And trying to think of some of the other things in the course that really, I've done customer research. I really promote that to all of my clients, especially the ones like the CMO clients, because they think they know why people buy, but they don't really know. They don't know what the motivations are. And so I always start with that. I haven't been running it as a Facebook ad. I just kind of have them send it to their list, depending on how big the client is. So, you know, like how long they've been around. If they have a list, I'll just have them send it to their list. Cool. But yeah, I think that kind of having that structure, I did actually hire a business mentor because I realized I needed to scale and I needed to hire, and I wasn't sure how to accomplish that. So I did hire a business mentor. My mentorship is actually ending here this month, but it's just a 3-month to kind of get those business structures in place and figure out how to hire and stuff like that. And I think it's been really beneficial as well. So, you know, once people kind of get to that 5 to 6K mark, I would really recommend, I don't know if you work as a business mentor, but like hiring somebody that can help you personally with your personal like concerns get to the next level.
So let's just kind of rephrase this a little bit. So from 0 to 5K, it's learning how to not mess it up. It's learning what to say and learning that you can charge for your stuff. But at 5 to 10K, you really got to start talking to the people that can help you figure out how to send work out, right? Like you don't do it yourself. Don't spend hours on graphic design, pay somebody $30 and have it turn around in 24 hours, right? Like your suggestion is going from 5K to 10K, hire someone that can get you through that personally. Is that about right?
Yeah, because to me, the 0 to 5K is validating not only what you're selling, but your confidence in yourself to sell it.
Yeah.
So once you kind of validate your idea, you kind of know what direction you're going to take, and it's proving to be a revenue generating, then you kind of want to say, okay, how do I turn this into a real business? Because I personally do not want to be a freelancer for the rest of my life. Like I want to be a business owner. I want to be able to travel. I want to have other team to like handle stuff where I'm not putting out every single fire that comes along. And that's just not the life that I want for myself. So it's very important to me personally to get those systems in place so that I can have the life that I really want.
Very cool. Well, I'm super psyched for you. I'm super happy. You've been earning it every step. And you know, what kind of like hurts the most is like being so close all the time. And you're like, oh, I was just there, right? I was just so close, right? But I'm super happy they broke $10,000. And your goal is really to hit 50 a month, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. I would highly suggest you watch the Josh Rhodes interview that we did in the
Okay.
public group, because that guy went from 0 to $1 million in 10 months. And what he did is he had his, like, he calls it his core thing at 2,000 to 4,000 a month, right? And then he pre-bills for 3 months, so he's getting cash in the bank, right? And then what happens is the same thing you experienced, which is the leads are bad and blah, blah, blah. He says, great, I understand that. Well, how about instead of paying me to run your Facebook ads, you pay me to blank? How about we coach? How about I sign you up with somebody who can help you turn the money? How about we do a coaching program that teaches you how to turn leads into cash? Something like that. He calls it the Moneyline Workshop or something like that. And that like back and forth of like signing clients at 90 days, knowing that on day 91, they're going to bitch about the leads and then saying, great, I understand. We're going to do a coaching program so that you learn how to turn leads into money, right? And that's just what shot him straight through the roof. He has like 20 plus employees now. He's like, he just messaged me. He's like, hey, I won another ClickFunnels award. I was like, how did you win 2?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so he has a very good strategy and game plan of going from 10 to 50K. And I think he's got like some like paid training, which I'm sure upsells into something else. But I've heard good things about it on like how to go from 10 to 50K and about how that back and forth, which should be like pretty darn useful. But for everybody watching, ask your questions now. Otherwise, I'm going to bring this sucker to a close. I'm trying out Be Live instead of Zoom, so people watching the group instead of jumping on a Zoom call, right? But what were some of like the bigger challenges you had with some of your clients? Like one of them, like you couldn't generate leads for the insurance guy, right? Has there ever been like any other big challenges and all?
One of my real estate clients, which was a brokerage, so it was, I think there was probably like 10 realtors I was sending leads to underneath the brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
I sent them like over 500 leads in 2 months, and they said that they were all terrible. They didn't convert one of them. And I was like, that is a horrific close rate. I mean, I send you 500 people your way and you literally cannot even get one to make an appointment. Like I had a really hard time believing that. And I did the sneaky survey with them. So I was showing, hey, they said they never called them back. They're looking to buy a house, today. And like all this stuff. And they were just like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what is wrong with you? And I'm like, we can do like a ISA, so we can have people call them. We can have people call all the leads for you and just send you appointments. Would you like to do that? It's going to be an extra $1,000 a month. No. And I was like,
welcome to my life, Sarah.
I was like, what? And then they were like, yeah, we're going to have to, after like 3 months, they were like, we're going to have to end this because, they're just not converting. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not calling them. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but I didn't want to put any work into this. So,
yeah. And I think, and that was like a big wake up call for me, because I was like, the type of people like that are not the people that I want, that think they can, like, since when have you ever purchased a product that like solves all of your problems, like that creates a business on the back end for, like, just doesn't happen. Like you can't expect to purchase something like, hey, let's get more leads, and then they just all convert without you doing anything. Like, and when in your life has that ever worked? It's never worked.
So when you showed them the sneaky surveys and said nobody's calling these leads back, they didn't give a shit.
No. And I would send them like blurb after blurb after blurb after blurb, like 50 people, like, hey, this is a problem, a significant problem. Like I got on a separate call with them because I was like, this is really important. We need to fix this now. And they were just like, yeah.
That's insane.
I was like, okay.
So how is that narrative and conversation different than the clients you have now? Are some of them like the couple clients that were CMO, are they still giving you that kind of like attitude, or is it totally separate and totally changed?
So what I started doing is I started changing my sales message.
Yeah.
So I no longer go with this, hey, we're going to get you 300 leads in 20 minutes type of narrative, because that speaks to the wrong type of person. So
Yeah.
I instead come in and I say, listen, we can, marketing is super, like, this is not my pitch at all, but, I kind of like emphasize like what benefits this could be for them. And then I start talking for a while about this is a long-term commitment. You cannot expect your business to change in even 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, this is a long-term thing. You don't just start marketing and then stop marketing. Like, that's just not what you do if you want to have a successful business. So I really focus on those people that have that ambition to become a bigger brand. Like my two CMO clients, they are focused on, like, one of them wants to create like franchises, kind of like Chick-fil-A. And then the other one is wanting to like create like Tony Robbins style events. So they both have bigger ambitions. And they know this is a long-term play. They are not anywhere close to where they need to be to achieve those goals. So that's why they hired me. So that I really kind of rephrase that to get that, like, that objection right off the board. So they're not like, well, it's been 3 minutes and, we don't have $1 million yet. And I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't happen like that. So I take a lot more time to really qualify them and set expectations.
I've started to adjust my pitch. Instead of the wallet out campaign, it's now the 90-day wallet out campaign. So there's an implication that it takes more than 1 month, and it could take up to 3 months. And Robin Alex, who's based out of Dallas, signs clients at $40,000 a month and retains them at 87% month after month.
What does he sign them for?
$40,000 a month. Nobody, I didn't believe him.
What does he do for $40,000 a month?
You should see it. It's in the public group. He has like a whole video thing. He sends out a crew. He puts them on a plane, gets all the shots and all that, and then does Facebook ads on the back end. Like, what was interesting is, like, when he told me that, I was like, I don't believe you, and we can't bring up that number. And even if it's true, it's too insanely high. So I put 10,000 a month. It's really 40K, right?
Which guy runs this? What's his
Robin
name?
Robin Alex. It's one of the interviews that we did like 3 weeks ago. And all he does is say it's a 120-day wallet out campaign, whatever his version is.
Yeah.
So there's an implication that it's not just 30 days, right? And it either does one of two things. Either it filters out people who only want like fast results, which probably you couldn't like make happy anyway, or it gets those people to realize it's going to take more than 2 weeks or something like that. And his analogy after he and I talked offline was like, it's just like going to the gym. Like, there are people that accidentally believe that they can lose weight in 2 weeks because the trainer said you can see results in 2 weeks or less. But if that same trainer said it's going to take you 6 months, that person will just naturally stay around longer because they're saying that. And that's exactly what you're doing with your CMO clients, right?
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Steve says, can I get a copy of the video as part of a pre-sale to a realtor? I'm talking to expectations. Do you send them a video or something like that? Or what are you talking about? No, right?
No.
Re-ask your question. We don't know what you're talking about.
I do have like a case study, which I modeled off of y'all's case studies. But I just put like my own stuff in there for realtors. But I'm not really targeting them anymore just because their mindset, like, my main focus is not really niche, but it's more, what is the mindset of these people? Because it's too big to try and break all their beliefs and do all this marketing. Like, I just can't do all that like in this type of relationship, where we talk maybe once a week or something like that. It's just, it's setting yourself up for failure. So I just don't like dealing with them anymore.
Fantastic. So at like a high level, do you have an idea of how you're going to go from 10 to 50K? Is it start running paid ads? Is it incentivizing your clients to send you more clients? Is it having more expensive programs? Like, what are you thinking of, like, going from 10 to 50K?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've started trying to tinker with a couple of different things. I did start offering video services for my CMO clients. Cool. So I actually film the videos for them, and then I've hired a video editor that I just send everything off to. And so I charge like for each video that we're doing. So that's kind of a way to add extra income from my clients that I'm already working with. I'm about to pitch tomorrow because one of my clients really wants to focus more on like getting podcasts and media coverage and stuff like that. So I'm going to pitch like, an additional package to handle that for them because it's going to take more time. So kind of a lot of this stuff just comes up organically. Ideally, what I'd really like to do is create a course or something like that to bring in like repeat, income every day without me physically having to do everything. So that's kind of my longer term play there.
So Robert Dobrolovich is on a similar journey. So he has a long background running e-commerce clients. It's the same problem again and again and again. It's not a copy paste, but it's once you find like the right type of client or the right program, it's pretty similar. And that's what he and I ended up doing the e-commerce masterclass. And now what he does, by the way, when he gets an inquiry of someone like, hey, they want to do e-com, he says, great, if you really want to do e-com, buy this video from me first. And then if you can't do it, then I'll take you on as a client. And so it immediately does two things. One, it filters out people that are just like jerking them around, right? And the second is if somebody's going to spend money, they're going to spend more money over time, right?
Oh,
and so that was like, that's a pretty cool use for him. So once you figure out your recordings or your pitch videos or whatever it is, that's a very, very good filter. And Joel Urway does the same thing. He won't talk to me until I've bought his course first, probably because he doesn't want to have to repeat himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But more importantly, it filters out people that are just jerking him around, which is like pretty darn cool. And the side effect is he gets to say that he charges $1,000 to talk to him, right? And so Robert,
that's true. Yeah,
gets to say I get to charge $100 just to talk to me, and you're not too far away from that, which I think is pretty darn cool. Steve says there's a snippet of this interview where Sarah discusses how she got 500 leads for a client that did nothing and blamed her.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. The brokerage.
Yeah, Steve, just download the video. That's all you have to do. Okay, that clears things up. All right, there you go. So Sarah, I'm super happy for you. And I'm super psyched because you've been trying to like get this mark of accomplishment for like 6-7 months, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of transformations. And arguably the hardest is 0 to 10K. But now you figured out what you're doing, how you're doing it, how to get there. And you just got to do it 2 or 3 more times, right? You can start doing done for you services like I'm going to do your video ads for you, or I will coach you how to do video ads. You can do the Josh Rhodes strategy on pre-building 90 days up front. And then when they want to cancel because the leads suck, you say, great, I understand we have a coaching program that will coach you on how to turn those leads into money, right? And all of a sudden your clients are worth like 5-10K instead of 500 to $1,000. But I honestly think that the biggest learning you've had is trying to figure out how to charge more for what you're doing and have an honest dollar-driven relationship with that. Because I remember you were spending like hours and hours trying to figure out ads and like it couldn't work and you weren't charging per hour as a flat rate. And he was spending a lot of time with you, bugging you for hours. And I think this is like the part of natural progression. Like once you start learning how to charge for stuff, you can do this. It's going to cost you money. Here's a proposal. And if they don't pay, you go, okay, I'm not going to help you, right? And that's a huge transformation that you went through. I love how you brought up that you're doing more CMOO style work, which means you either do the Facebook ads part yourself or send it out if you're making enough money to do it. And that's why I charge my bike shop. I think last month it was $9,000. And 3,000 of that were for a book that's going to take me probably 4 hours in total. And then he's going to be jumping up and down because he's got a book, right? Now, how hard is to write a book? It's fucking easy because I've been doing those 90-second videos for him. It's just a copy and paste of the script and it just works, right? So you can start doing things like that. I'm super duper psyched for you. Next stop, the big break for me was at 25K because then you really got sending work out, right? And once you start doing that, 25K to 50K is easier than you think. John Williams is on that journey right now. And so is Nick Corum, like having the Trello board set up and one click sends all the work out. And then a guy who doesn't speak English very well tries to do it all for you. You know what I mean? So I'm super psyched for you. Was there anything else that you want to drop in this? Cause like, I'm going to send this to you in like 3-6 months. And then you're going to be like, oh, I did the same mistakes again. You know what I mean? So like, what other things should we put on here?
That are mistakes I think I'm making?
Whatever you feel like this is your chance to like document it forever.
Oh, I do really think that I need to create more of like a system, kind of like what you were saying Josh Rhodes does. something like a defined value ladder. And I think it's kind of hard. I'm sure everyone else in here has probably experienced this as well, where you aren't quite sure if this is like your end all be all. And so you're like, do I go ahead and create this now? Like, what if I want to do something else later? And so I'm kind of like struggling with that. Like, do I just, like, what direction do I want to go? And so I think that's a struggle. I've been meaning to document more, and so I realize like the importance of doing that. So my goal is to start documenting more, and creating more videos and engaging with people. And I'm trying to like get over that fear by focusing on just how can I help one person rather than like it's all about me or my feelings, and so, I don't know. Is there anything else like that you see in talking to me, because you've like already surpassed what I'm doing so far? Like, what are the next steps that you think that I should take, like defined steps that would help me kind of catapult forward?
So I'm so glad you asked, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up your personal page. And you bring up branding a lot and CMO and stuff like that. And something that I see right here, right, is I call it a break in the narrative by accident. We just talked about how, it's going to take you 3 months or 6 months or 9 months to rework your business or something like that. So I see 75 real estate leads in less than 7 days. So that's right, like a break, right? Instead of 75 leads in 7 days, it's a 6-month plan to doubling your income as a real estate agent. Great. So now we're on track, right? Now we know it's not going to take more than, it's going to take more than 7 days. And it's not about leads, right? It's just the CMO style stuff, which leads you to more like courses and coaching and stuff that can scale versus one-on-one. So if this had like 6 months of doubling your income as a real estate agent, just so happens I use Facebook ads to start them moving, well, all of a sudden it's going to work pretty well, right? I always think you have to have a tagline or headline up here. Simply because Motion, who just won a 2 Comma Club and lands clients at $9,400 a month up front, he's got something right there. And it just
how do you do that?
This is just a Canva, and then you click it, and then there's a link right here, and it goes to his website. So this is just a Canva. It's not a real button.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you had at the top, like our 3-step system to doubling your real estate income in less than 6 months, perfect, right? And now your 3-step system could be Facebook ads, automatic follow-up, and coaching and converting and nurturing your leads, something like that, right? So let's look at this video right here, how you got 75 real estate leads in 7 days. This sucker on mute real fast. Maybe. Mute. Is that going to work?
It should have a mute button.
Okay, there we go. My client had no tracking. Cool. So I see what you're trying to do, but it's not accomplishing its intended result, right? And so when we're moving to CMOO style work, I would recommend doing something that I'm now experimenting with, which is called an indoctrination funnel. And so the first version of indoctrination funnel that I saw was, well, let me ask you this. Did you ever get a Russell Brunson ClickFunnels t-shirt?
Heck yeah.
How did you get it?
I believe through, was it either when I think it was when I signed up for ClickFunnels.
And did they make you watch a series of videos?
Yes.
Yeah, that's called an indoctrination funnel. And so what I discovered is after ClickFunnels and I wore the butt shirt, everyone said, oh, I've seen the butt group. Can I do an interview? And I had to have the same conversation 25 times. And I had to have the conversation so many times I got sick of the conversation. So I built out an indoctrination funnel, which is something you can do as well. So imagine your banner at the top or the thing at the bottom says the 3 steps to doubling your real estate income in 6 months or less. Great. So before they get on the phone with you, what do they have to know? They have to know this. They have to know that. This program is for these people. It's not for those people. Like a video sales letter divided up into 5. We
Okay.
did the same exact thing, right? So I shot these videos, and there's a general introduction. I'm super psyched. Yeah, this is going to be great. Let's do an interview. Why do an interview? Blah, blah, blah. Second video. Yeah, this is what we're going to be going over. This is who the program is for, who's not for. These are the results that you can get. Third video. This is how long it takes. This is what you should know beforehand. This is the type of work that we're doing. Fifth video. And then finally, after they click that button, then they can schedule an interview, right? So you may want to look into figuring out, and this is like, let's just say a month down the line, the common problems that your clients are having that they should have been solved before they talk to you, right? Like,
Okay.
do you have a lead generation system for your business? No. Okay, great. Do you have an automatic nurturing follow-up system for your business? No. Okay, great. Do you have an amazing offer that makes people want to pay you immediately? No. Okay, great. So guess what? You're going to have those 3 things up here. Schedule a meeting. Let's figure it out. And now they hire you on as a CMO. And by the way, here, after they schedule a meeting, you can just pitch them the Wallet Out campaign and add an extra 0. And it takes 6 months instead of like 30 days, right? And so between this up here and this right here, and then like that way of onboarding, now when you meet and greet and you socialize, you're not talking about Facebook ads. So you can send out the Facebook ads. You're talking about graphic design. You can send out the graphic design. And when you pitch and do proposals, it's going to be working even better. On your newsfeed, again, this is always a challenge for everybody, like making it on point. I usually just go back and start cleaning things up. You'll notice my newsfeed looks like shit, or my personal newsfeed looks like shit because they just haven't cleaned it up. But what I'm going to start doing here is dropping in testimonials. So,
Okay.
right, you can see like it's all gone to shit. This is Bobby Stock's thing. But in here is a testimonial by, come on. Where is it? There's a testimonial from John Michael. See, I can't even find it, right? So like I would start dropping testimonials pretty consistently. Just every Sunday, drop proof, screenshots, testimonials. You'll go to your personal page and you're always going to be unsure about it. Like, oh God, is it good enough? Nobody cares. Follow the format of the testimony that's in the course. Just give it to your clients. And you want to make sure that they encapsulate the before and the after, and you're the vehicle in between. So like Sam Ovens, like, this is where I was before. Everything was horrible. All my legs were broken. I had no money. Now I'm winning like sprints and marathons, and it's because I took Jeff's training, right? And so between those 3 key points, you will start naturally getting people hitting your calendar that are already pre-qualified and have gone through this indoctrination funnel just like this. Oh, wait. I'm looking at the wrong screen.
I didn't want to distract you because you were talking. I could still follow. So.
Oh, mother flower. See, that's why I plugged out. Okay, hold on.
It's okay.
That's so funny. Did you see the indoctrination funnel? Oh, damn it. Okay.
It's okay. I was following like the concept, and that's really what's most important.
All right. So remove that. Let's see if that works. Oh man, it totally bugged out.
I can't figure out how to work BeLive. I tried to download it and I was just like, what is going on?
Oh man. Okay, here we go. Holy crap. Yeah. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, my indoctrination funnel.
I can't see it. It's still my the video that was.
Do you see my my indoctrination funnel now?
Mm-mm. It might just be stuck on my end, but I don't want to hit refresh because
it's probably going to bug out.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, so you'll take a look at the indoctrination funnel. I'll send you a link, and all of a sudden everything will make sense. But those 2 or 3 or 4 things will free you up mentally and emotionally. And all of a sudden people can say, oh, I watched your testimony with John Michael. I want the same results. Great. Let's schedule a meeting. Watched all the indoctrination videos. And now they've already been pre-framed to buy from you. So those are the couple things that I think are going to be the difference between where you are and where you want to be. And then making offers consistently. Just consistently saying, hey, I got this result. Do you want to do this too? If so, hit this calendar link. And then not being afraid of doing discounts and group buys and stuff like that. Like, hey, we've got another client opportunity coming up, or a client just dropped us. We've got a new spot. We usually sell these suckers for $3,000 a pop. Do you want to join 50% off? Offer ends today. Doing stuff like that will get people saying, fine, I might as well, especially if you've got a list or something like that. But you're definitely 100% on your way, which is pretty effing cool. And the next spot is 25 grand.
Yay.
Good stuff. I got a boogie. Got someone coming in at 2 o'clock that I got to like work with and get up to speed on. But I just wanted to document the sucker because every time we do, you can always look back and be like, oh, why did I totally not do that? Or like, oh, I should have done that. Or you go like, wow, it's better than I thought. But yeah, so fill out the form. Your t-shirt will be in the mail, and I'll see you on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff.
You got it. Thanks so much.